Hello and welcome back to Trappist Transfer, where we just watch a D10 fly across the room mysteriously from Truthseeker, who apparently that dice was seeking the floor. So yeah, that's good.
I see it.
R.I.P. Also, our carpet is a beautiful conglomeration of color, which is also the best dice camouflage. So I've learned over the many years that I have gamed in this room that if you drop a die, it may be dead to you for a while, or until somebody steps on it angrily. Yeah.
Always wear shoes.
Oh.
Always wear shoes.
Yeah, it's true. So it's beautiful, but it's a terrifying room. I love it. Anyway, welcome back, where we're still in the midst of some crazy combat as y'all are trying to make it out, turn the ship, get away from the solar flare coming your way. It's been a doozy of a day.
Hot robot on robot action.
Hot robot on robot action. Elevator actions. We got some
the shaft.
The shaft.
Hot shaft.
There's a lot of shafting happening on one side of the table.
Ladder shafting.
A lot of getting in things on this side of the table.
And laser cutting. There's a lot of laser cutting. I love laser cutting.
I feel like there was actually that much laser cutting.
And a lot of really uncomfortable
and unfortunate amount though.
There should be more laser
cutting. My apologies.
More porting.
Come back for season 2 Trappist Transfer with 33% more laser cutting.
Thank you.
We'll get back to you later.
Thank you.
So, where we left off was we were just, I believe, switching back to Comms 3 and Penelope, where y'all were having a really awkward human robot threesome that was not working out well. Also was partially non-consensual. I don't know, maintenance robot.
A lot of this was non-consensual.
Well, no one's asked.
Well, there was no consent to give. That's probably worse.
Yeah, that's definitely worse.
Yeah.
So, please tell me what. I'll keep going with the order we've got here. Comms 3.
Okay, so I am linked.
No, it did not work out this time. It
didn't stay linked.
It was coming in hot. It was coming in hot. It looked like it was ready to go. Boom, direct to port.
Right.
And you notice not a port necessarily, but it actually looked more like an energy discharge port. It would have possibly fried you. And you dodged that.
The bitch.
You knocked it out of the way. But the unfortunate piece is what you did, with your fray, by knocking it away with one of your legs, is that you rotated more than you meant to, and it kind of pinned you down. So it looks like it has a better purchase to try and come at you this round. It's angling for your port.
It's on.
It is on, angling for that port.
Yeah, that's right. We're gonna port in. So another melee.
I'm 26.
Yeah. So what are you trying to do? Are you avoiding it, or are you trying to just being not worrying about it coming in for you? You're just gonna try and connect. What's your plan?
I'm just gonna try and connect.
Oh, that's all I want. Just to connect.
I know.
Somebody else.
I bet you have a really interesting online dating profile as Comms 3.
I'll work on it.
If anybody could draw this, please.
Oh, fuck. 81.
Your port game is just floppy.
No.
Oof.
Thank you. Yeah, not so good for you.
Pushing rope?
Oh, nope. No Ethernet cable.
Can we never say that again?
Cheers to Archer. So Penelope, I believe...
So
you were next, and then it keeps going. So
Comms 3 is trapped. This other maintenance bot is on top.
I like to think that we're making a lot of squealing noises.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of metal sounds.
Screeching, scraping.
Yeah. It just looks really creepy.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Things that your ear would kind of interpret as chittering, but that wasn't a design feature, right? So it's just the worst case scenario spider sounds, but it's all just mechanical. Ugh.
I love it.
Also, t-shirt option. Worst case possible spider sounds.
I would really like to use my quick action to port into it and then reprogram it.
Yeah,
if I can.
Well, I mean, like I said, that's the goal. But step one is you still gotta
So you need the melee to port.
Yeah, you gotta connect with it because there's so much bucking happening, right? This is not you jacking into the wall. This is just no, it's spiders rolling around. It's creepy and it's big and it's not easy to line up.
But you said it pinned Comms 3, so it's a little more stable.
You're right. Okay, so what is your athletics normally, or your melee normally?
My melee normally is 10.
Okay, so because of the situation,
like to shoot things.
Because of the situation, I will give you a +20 condition modifier for it because you're right. It's not bucking up as much. It is flipped over. Do you have any more points to try and boost this?
Yeah, I could vigor it for 50.
So up to 50 total. So another 20. Yeah, I would say do it. This is a perfect time to like take advantage of those modifiers.
Yeah.
So 50-50.
So quick action porting? No.
Help me.
I rolled
You're
a
my only
75.
hope.
So I really had this epic vision in mind.
I'm not trying to.
So this is great. This is just so opposite of how you normally roll.
No, because I fail when I roll, so...
Okay, so that's what we're basing it on. Maybe you just need to play characters that roll more d10s in D&D world, right? So just maybe it's the dice. I don't know.
It's not the way it works.
No, I just
right?
fail when I roll.
Statistics. Fine.
So I'm that outlier.
So there was that kind of like epic sci-fi action sequence moment where there's explosions and robots are happening, those things. But like there's that moment where like time slows and it kind of looks like you're ready to connect, right? But just like at that last moment, like one of the spider's like mandibles kind of just like bucks upwards and just slaps it out of the way. Like it just doesn't connect, unfortunately. And it's just like, oh, you're there like trying to connect with it. You notice out of the corner of your eye with that though that the other robot is it's still focusing on the wreck of the disabled bot, but it looks like it's getting like closer to done.
Can I?
It's got at least around thematically, but
Can I athletics the fuck out of the room and just get to the computer core and try and fix it at the base?
That is far enough away that that's not going to be like an easy task. That would be like minutes to get away from this location to get there. You don't know what would happen in that timeline. But
but right now I just want to get out of the room and get...
You can totally start getting away. I'm just saying it is very much like I'm leaving this environment, not like I'm going somewhere over here to fix this. No. Just retreating.
This is me doing a backflip off the butt out the door and then other shit happens.
100%. So you get to the door. It is still halfway cranked.
Yeah.
So you could complete the crank, or you could this would still end your turn. You can't quite make it through this turn because it would take like the equivalent of another like action to kind of contort yourself to try and get past it.
Yeah.
But you can start that process now, unless you want to try and like start the cranking process to make it easier. It's both going to be about the same amount of time for you. You think?
I really just want to roll athletics and contort faster.
Pretty sure that's how I'm going to roll with it. There's no like acrobatics in this game, I do believe. So I'm just going to kind of roll with that as a cool thing. It's how you use your body.
Yeah.
That's your exact
I think athletics is a broader skill in this than it is.
Penelope is really quick. She's really good at spatial visualization and situational awareness. So like she's like, all right, cool. I got to go this way to get out.
Cool. I like that. So I know your athletics is low normally.
My athletics is 50.
Oh, it's actually doing pretty good. Cool.
Yeah.
So I would say, I'll tell you what, this is just telling us how you're going to enter the next round. You're not quite out through it yet, but you are like starting this process to see if it looks like it's going to be easy for you. Okay. Make a roll. No.
99.
Whoa! Wait. That is a critical fail.
That is
Everybody
a critical
drink for that.
Yeah.
Critical double extra fail. Welcome to my life in game. Otherwise, I usually sort of do okay.
Well, you survive at any rate.
So I'm gonna say
Usually sort of do okay.
Yeah. Penelope is. Would you say that Penelope has any level of arrogance? Just out of curiosity.
I feel like it's a redundant question.
I know, but I want Connor to buy into this.
A little bit, but not.
But in their abilities, arrogance in their abilities.
More in their programming abilities, like fuck you, I can program the shit around you, but like maybe when I'm trying to do physical shit, maybe not. You will believe anything I say.
Okay. So I got you. I'm going to say that some of that programming arrogance kind of like bleeds over a little bit into the sense of like, almost forgetting that this is the real world and thinking that maybe this is more of like a virtual environment you have control over. That, oh my god, I forgot, I'm still like freshly sleeved, and like maybe I was a little more competent at this than I thought I was gonna be in this moment.
There was, the childhood gymnastics that totally still work in this slightly older body.
Right, yeah, exactly. And it's honestly, it's a slightly different body than it's you, but it's tweaked in a way that is more of an Olympian than you ever were. Yeah. Even though you were well trained, right? I mean, you spent many years of mom just drilling on you for gymnastics. But this body is better than you thought it was, and worse than you remember it being because virtual world. Yeah. And you go to do the cinematic, like dive through the door, like I'm contorting my body, and I know the best way to possibly do this is be like skinny along this trajectory, and I'm diving in, and it is beautiful and cinematic. And again, the camera slows as we watch your head just collide with the door and like did not gauge that angle just right. Like you overkicked and you rotated a little bit more than you meant to, and it does damage to you, that and in fact knocks you out for a round.
Real life moment for me.
Knock yourself out for a round. It's like, I'm gonna say it's
how much damage?
Like all your body.
This is gonna be bad.
It hit you in the worst spot, but it is not to knock you out, but doing kind of minimum damage for it, actually. So surprisingly, it only does 3 points of damage. Actually, hold on. 5 points of damage, which is really not as bad as knocking yourself out on a door would seem. I'm not gonna lie, that was you hit that at the best worst angle.
It doesn't
the best worst angle.
The best worst.
It doesn't wound me, but I'm definitely like phased and like on my knees. What the fuck?
Out of it for a round. That is going to be the consequence of that critical.
Yeah.
You got little birdies flying over your head.
It was a cinematic fail. I appreciate cinematic fails.
Yeah.
Damn.
At least it was fun.
Oh hell yeah! You're definitely honestly like you're having moments kind of flashing into thinking you're still in the virtual, and it's kind of a happy moment. It's just you're out of it. Yeah. All right, so it is in a good spot to try and jack into you. Thanks, Abby. So it's still got that advantage. You didn't quite knock that off. It is coming at you to try and connect. Curious, what's your plan? You want to?
I'm afraid. Yeah, I'm afraid.
Cool. So that's your fray divided by 2.
What?
It's your fray divided by 2 is your dodge.
Well, you said my fray was 50.
Your fray is 70, so it should be 35 as your value.
Okay. So that's my. I got to roll below 35.
Yeah, assuming it hits you to begin with.
Okay.
Its melee is 50 normally. It's at 70 because of this like advantage that it got on you from last time.
I fail. I got a 97.
Oh, damn! Y'all are having those great moments. So it rolls a 20 and it connects. You feel it's not getting to do anything this round. That was kind of its moment to kind of get to it. But you feel
violated.
Yeah, probably sure. I mean, you get to describe how you think this feels, right? From a machine to machine level of like,
Do you know what violation is yet?
This is that lesson.
They do.
I don't know.
I feel like they could describe it without knowing the word.
I know the term. Yeah. I know the term violation. This is the first time I've ever used it.
Unless this is like weird and intense. I'm curious this on a narrative level. But if it's like triggery or shitty, please stop and let me know. But like, what would this perspective be like from a robot? Like, from a robot perspective, you have come into sentience. You are now your own unique kind of program, and this other program is trying to like override your personality,
and it's taking over my freedom too. Like it's taking my freedom. I understand that.
You now have freedom as a concept, and you're like, and what is freedom to Comms 3? What does freedom mean to Comms 3?
The ability to exercise my will.
I like that, and this is like infringing upon that. And you don't like it. Cool. I like that as a good base, like, perspective without getting, hopefully, too intense on it.
It's not dogmatic. It's just a reaction to it.
So
no, I want to do something else.
No, I like that. That's good. So you, that's not, like, mustering, but, like, what you're feeling is, like, you are holding it off, but there is this, like, imagine, like, the microcosm level. Like, we're past this sort of, like, this connections happen, but you're now, like, on a circuit sort of screen. And imagine, like, a thematic sense of, like circuits that are colored, blue and circuits that are colored red, right? Like the red is starting to overtake the blue in terms of what is controlling the processor of you, right? And just as a visualization for this on a programming level, there is something that is being inserted into your programming, and you feel like it is going to break the code, that piece that to you is uniqueness, and you are fighting back against it. And right now it's like it's out of balance, but you feel if this thing remains where it is, it could overcome you, and you want to break out of that. So like that would be like your reaction for that starting next round. Which actually I want to like carry this through one more round.
Right on.
So like you were first up, like this thing's on you and like trying to take over your free will. What are you doing?
I am going to push back. I'm going to try to insert my code into its code.
Okay. Oh, gotcha. So overtake it, like this particular like robotic sleeve for like.
I'm saying it made the connection. Now I'm going to take over that connection.
I like that.
Yeah, this is where your infosec would come in.
Exactly.
Yeah, actually, like, So actually, system admin. I know you have really high in that. Like, you are.
It's all 80s. So
perfect.
Yeah.
However you want to describe it, like I would say like system admin in a level like infosec would be like you see like the backdoors and the elements and like the ways to kind of like crack the code. Your system admin, and they're both sort of equal, you also see that as a route to be like, I can go through your command structure and there's a series of commands that just fucking like turn this around.
Right. It's like it had to drop its own shields in order to make that connection. So now I'm just going to walk through that opening.
I hope you've got an 80. Let's see how this works.
I'm talking a big game, but I think I got some good numbers.
Talking a big game.
Yes. 46.
Yeah.
Sweet.
And you're doing that fast. So, cool. Connor, you're knocked out. You don't say anything. So I was gonna be like, Penelope. No.
I guess
Penelope's still like on her hands and knees, like trying to stand up at the door.
So yeah, if you have a description for this, cool.
So what I do to it? What command do I give it? Do I get to give it a command?
Hold on.
Or did I just simply give myself the ability to do it on like the next? I figure I have one more action.
As a GM, I'm trying to think like what.
Give me one more action.
Okay, so you with that roll, you were able to gain control of the command screen. I'll give you that. But it's not like you were controlling the robot, but you are going through, like you're the hacker going through the menus. Like, what can I do?
I want to give it an order. So whenever I can give it an order, I've got one to give it.
Cool. I would say right now, kind of cap it off. I won't say it would do it right now, but it will take an order.
Attack the other service robots. Not this one.
Not the one that you are. You mean that?
Yeah.
Not this one.
Yeah.
Okay, you give the order, and round ends for you, Penelope. Oh god.
And then I disconnect if I can. Should I stay connected?
You're done right now. You're staying.
Okay.
You're currently connected. That was all the actions you had in terms of
Gotcha.
So, Penelope, you see if you're basically a saving throw is kind of what I'm looking for. Give me like a physical, how these things work.
Reflexes?
No, it's more like you're shaking it off. So I'm not sure if reflexes is the piece for this, right? I'm
the psalm or whatever.
I was thinking like it could. No, somatic is more like how you move. I think it might be more cognitive. Like I don't know. Like for you,
I feel like reflexes is more physical than.
I mean, it's physical, but in terms of like a I'm basically looking for a constitution save, right? Like you're kind of like your body's kind of shaking it off. Which I guess somatics is athletic, so I think like somatic is more of the body based one. I guess is what I'm thinking.
Willpower makes sense.
I was gonna say willpower too.
Yeah.
Like
okay, it's willpower.
Just fucking stand up through this
I'm
traumatic
looking
injury.
through this like abbreviated list that I've got here. So yeah, I think willpower would be the case because this is not like your body feels like shit. Your head hurts a lot, and in fact, being coordinated is going to be affected in a different way. But yeah, this is your mind like fighting through the pain and the haze. They kind of just like, can I just shake myself out of it? Yeah. So give me a will check, which is 3 times, right? That's your save. What is that?
45.
That's doable. It's almost
You're
50-50.
funny.
You still have flex points. You can fuck with something. Right?
I rolled a 30.
Hey, that works.
No, you don't
So it's
Finally
not
rolled
particularly
well.
fast.
I
But
stand
at
up and my nose is
but-
just like gushing blood.
Yeah, at the end of your turn, you basically like you come to, and there's like a puddle of blood, like beneath you. There's like a drip, 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 and you're just like, oh god. You see a little smear of blood on the door where you slammed a second ago, and then a robot like jiggling in the background doing a thing, and you're like,
Remember
okay,
why
I
my
can't-
grandmother told me to always wear a helmet when riding a horse?
Oh yeah, and you're like, what? Oh, something very. You have a flashback to waking up in a very similar manner, and your arm that you have your prosthetic arm on is like shooting pain and kind of crumpled against you, like, and then you like from your past, and you kind of flash back to current times where you're like just remembrance of past traumas, right? Like
Yeah.
physical, like, ugh. But like you probably have a moment of like, wait, I got this now. Okay, cool. So it goes, and I don't know if you're fighting fighting this, but it disconnects from you, moves away, and you see it pounce on the other robot that is moving.
Yes.
Let's go. Oh, and defense. Oh, okay. It kind of misses and tumbles off. the other one critically, super critically succeeded in defense.
Oh,
so
nice.
somehow, I don't know what the hell it's doing. but
Slid
it's
right
like,
out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's like, actually, I'm gonna give it this. Not that it's gonna do anything potentially. It looks like it's actually absorbed some of the other maintenance robot and has gotten new and repaired itself in some areas, and it's just like mega spider, and then the other one misses it. Thematically, it's not doing anything else. Just to be
Nice.
clear, it's not double
Love
spider.
it.
It's just it's just bigger and scarier.
Mega
It's
spider.
bigger and scarier.
Yeah.
It's got a fresh coat of
Although
carbon fiber.
now I've created a villain.
Oh yes.
That is just a
I
conglomeration
named
of all
him
spiders.
Moriarty.
Spider Mac.
Spider. I want a better spider. Spider pun. Somebody get back to me.
Sheila. Not a pun. That's a better reference.
You say okay. Anyway, Lord of the Rings is a better reference than Sherlock Holmes. Jeez.
Oh, it's a hard one for me. I love them both, but
Can we just call it a web slinger?
I just meant she loves an actual spider. Moriarty's just a theoretical spider,
They're all it's all fantasy.
like a web spinner.
It's all something out of fantasy. At any rate, I like that. So yeah, it shears off basically and kind of rolls, but it is on its back and it's kind of but then flips over and goes back. It seems like it's
And it's
focused
super.
on
And
it.
it's super creepy.
Yep.
Super creepy.
So end of your turn, coming back around the caster.
I have a new thing.
Squish.
Hold on.
Oh god. Oh, that makes me real nervous.
Is there stuff inside?
Yeah,
Water.
there's
Or
water,
oil.
but it's also
gross.
sticky. Like if I throw it against the wall. My bank gave it to me for opening up a debit card against my will. I
A
didn't want.
non-consensual debit card consolation
Well, she was
prize.
like, "Oh, you want to cash
You
a
can
check?
specify your
We
debit
see
card."
that you don't have a debit card. Do you want a debit card?" And I'm just like, "No, not really." And then she does the it'll only take a couple minutes, and I'm like, "Oh my god, if it'll make you happier."
Do you have something for me to fiddle with? And they're like, here you go.
Yeah. Well, they were on a. She didn't offer it for the debit card, but she, as I was walking by, she had this line of they're like corporate toys, junk they can give you, and she's like, "Oh yeah, you have as many of those as you want." So I took one of everything.
And then you're like, and thank you.
Yes.
You Mary Poppins that shit.
Yeah.
Come on.
Just take
Hey.
the
My
whole.
bag.
Just take the whole box.
Take the swag.
This is that
Yeah.
level of
Take the swag.
I'm gonna grate your cheese, say when to stop. You're like, can I still see it?
Right.
Keep going.
Listen, I have a mustache bottle opener now, so
Sold.
yeah,
I love it.
it's shaped like a mustache, but it's a
I'm trying. No, I get that. I'm trying to figure out which part opens the bottle.
the hook.
So tell me about how that mustache bottle opener is helping you climb up this elevator and get out of your impending doom.
Yes.
And I'm really curious about that spot.
I like
squishy
how
thing
you
later.
tied it back in.
Boom.
Here, I'll pass it on.
Yes.
Because
let me-
otherwise
let me
it's
play
too
with your blue ball.
distracting.
Oh, it is so sticky. That's awesome and terrible.
Right?
Please get back to work.
And if you
And tell me
squeeze
what's
it hard
happening in the
enough,
world.
it'll make gloop noises.
Can I do it in the?
Oh God, I wonder
Oh,
what that
yeah.
I hope that comes across well in the audio, and if not, I'm sorry, but it's gross.
Oh, it's definitely get it on the
I
audio.
think
Please
we can-
continue.
Okay, yeah, so-
So, Kastor, all this shit's happening in the elevator. What's happening?
Right. And I feel like as each
Ooh.
messed up thing happens.
Yeah, Charlie's still angry about trying to open this thing up, and his arm is not feel good.
Oh no. As each messed up thing is happening, how can I see how wide the door is open, or are we close enough for that yet?
You can spend your action to move up there, so you're gonna kind of be behind him a little bit, like a couple feet below, so you can kind of see a better angle at the door. So I'll say like at the end of your movement phase.
Right.
Actually make an athletics check just to see. Like
Yeah.
so right now, no, because you're not sure.
Cool. So my athletics is gonna be 45. Is that correct? 15 plus 9.
It's very unsatisfying.
So 12. 12.
And what do we need again?
45.
Yeah, so you get up like at the base of Charlie's feet. You're looking up, and for you can see like some of the strobe lighting that's happening coming through the open door. That's kind of openish door that's like flashing on the other side of the elevator shaft. Yeah, that thing's terrible. I love it. It's terrible. Oh
God.
it's
So sticky.
that is
So gross.
so sticky. So I'm still freaking out about
That's
it.
okay. That's what our nanobot friends are going to look like in the future.
Hell yes.
That's right.
Little
All right,
sticky
thanks
blobs.
for bringing it back around. I needed that. Also more beer. So you get to this point where you're seeing that flashing happening, and you realize that it is not quite open enough for a human to fit through. It's like if you were like a 5-year-old kid, you could probably squeeze through it. It's like a little bit more another round-ish maybe, and it might be like squeezable for a human.
Okay.
Right, but it's gonna look tight.
It'll
Okay.
be like that ball.
Yeah. Oh, only a cephalopod can make it through. So that's where you're at right now.
Okay.
I don't know if you have any particular actions you want to do, but what you're seeing above you is another chunk of metal like falls down clanging. And roll me. What's your fray?
Oh. 15.
Really?
I mean, that's what I've got written on the sheet. What is it?
Your tray?
What is a base fray?
So
Your base fray is just your somatics,
Yeah, so 15.
but it's
but it's doubled, right?
it should be doubled, yeah.
Oh, okay, then 30.
Ooh. So half
There's
of
two
that is
things
your
that are
dodge,
doubled.
though. So you're rolling
got
a
it.
15 for
Okay,
dodging this thing coming at you.
got it.
I have Frey as reflexes.
Yeah, but your fray is.
Oh, sorry, I was
like-
looking at athletics. You're right, it's reflexes. That's base.
It's still the same.
Yeah, but you still
Yeah.
apply by 2.
Yeah.
Okay. That's want to make sure we're on that one. So yeah, so you got a 15 dodge happening for this thing coming at you.
Okay. $50.
Do not dodge. What is your wound thresholds?
My wound threshold is, I wrote that down, 7.
Okay, so this thing rolled a 9.
Cool.
So you take 9 damage, right? And this is kind of like a trauma, right? Like,
Right.
so it's a wound, but like plus something a little bit more grievous. So this is like a chunk of metal falling. I'm gonna leave it up to you to describe like how this wounds you in a particular way. And this could be things that basically are gonna result in like a -10 penalty to like stuff you're doing in the future, at least for a little while, right?
Right. So, am I on, like, I just want to clearly understand the space. So the ladder ends, and then there's a platform, and we're both on the platform, and like,
So this is like very much an elevator shaft, and there's no real platforms, right? There's the elevator
okay.
that's kind of moving up, and it moves up along the wall, and it's basically parallel to the elevator doors at some point, so you could like step off onto the elevator
got it.
or elevator doors. Thanks for asking. I haven't described this detail yet.
Yeah.
What what's his name?
Charlie,
Thank you. Is basically up at platform level and is kind of like, he was leaning off into the sort of like a panel that's adjacent to it, but kind of like switched arms to get over there, and is cranking it open. So you're right below this point, which your head is almost like at the floor level for where this new like door opening is going to be. There is some spots where you could like prop your other foot on some conduits, like little ledges and things where you can create like between the ladder and that maybe another like a little more stable tripod. But other than that, it's not like you're standing on a platform or a landing, right? Like you've got like some stability,
and
but
he's
it doesn't
not really either.
Yeah, he's doing kind of a similar thing. He's got like one left, like his left leg off to the side, kind of stepping on what looks like a junction box to create a little bit of stability, and then is like cranking with his offhand right over here, and it's like uncomfortable, but he's just like going at it.
So the way that I would describe that this happened is that Kastor was trying to get into a position to help Charlie.
Okay.
Crank the shaft, because obviously Charlie is having a hard time, and maybe used one of those other things that is not the ladder to like foot on, and then like so when this thing came down and like grazed him, it was like not a super stable or good option.
Oh, gotcha. So
Yeah,
so this might be screwing with Kastor a little more, you mean? Or
yeah, to a certain extent. Like, I would imagine if they got hit, it would be potentially more of a slip, have to re-grab, and like all that the physical intent, like the like, because like Kastor's not only dealing with like the sleeve, but like basically when the sleeve gets trauma, you now feel like, oh no, like the muscles on that arm aren't working the same, or like that kind of thing. Yeah.
Cool. So I'd say, yeah, this thing careens down the elevator shaft and sort of like clips Kastor's like head a little bit. But you like in that process, like you mitigated the blow. Like there's a little bit of like a trickle of blood, but it's not like a real solid concussion. But in what happens is like you lose your footing, and as Kastor kind of like, you know, falls a foot or two just a little bit, they kind of like they grasp onto more of these points. Like they're in a spot where they're stable,
right?
But like in doing so, like
you.
wrenches, right? Like they're like not used to that muscle memory in the same way. Like it's been a while. Like gravity works weird. You're in a weird spot, and it's not the worst thing in the world, but it's definitely like just a deep Charlie horse kind of like level of cramp. You're like, it's there. It's like, you know, this ball that you've got under your shoulder, but you're like, you can work through it. It's just gonna distract you a bit.
Cool.
I hate those.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, because we all know them. It's the worst. It's the worst.
Right.
Maybe not. You're too young. No.
Well, and
No, I was kidding.
and that's sort of what I was thinking about, the way that like nicking your foot on uneven sidewalk can be worse than just eating shit like somewhere else, like in a wide open space, you know?
The trigger warning, terrible skinning if you're foot. I was like barefoot in my old place, like, you know, going out to get like the mail, and like our like concrete just started becoming jagged over the feet, like, you know, tree root was doing a thing or whatever, and just like hadn't been an issue, you know, until this one fucking time, and I basically like just at the perfect depth kicked the edge of that concrete, where like if it was a little bit deeper, I would have just stubbed my toe and been angry. If it was a little bit shallower, I would have skimmed off and been ha ha ha. But this is the perfect level to catch just enough and just like take a flap off my toe. And I was like, why? Cheese grater? Why? And it was just like,
why didn't I listen to your trigger warning?
Because it's like this I told you. It was like this grievous wound. And I was just like, what'd you do? And I'm like, kick the concrete. Just like the stupidest.
Also, like your appendages totally like blow blood out like nobody's business. Yeah.
It's like I'm the most sensitive thing. You need me for everything. I'm like, I know, quit it.
I totally feel you. I sliced my heel really bad walking by a pool one time. Like someone hadn't locked a cover for one of those like little catch traps, and so I stepped on it and the cover flipped up, and my foot went like into the hole, and it just sliced like my heel off, and it. I was in 8th grade. It fucking hurt so bad. And
is
I was
this
on
why
that,
you
like,
protect
DC
your
trip.
ankles?
Oh, maybe. No, I don't know. But like, I always hurt myself.
We're gonna unpack this later.
But, like, dude, it fucking hurt so bad. And then it took forever to heal, and it bled. That's the most I've ever bled, I think. It was just like everywhere.
So That's exactly what Kastor feels, but like in the shoulder.
Cool.
It's just like you skinned
Just
yourself.
missing a chunk
you're-
of shoulder.
Oh, no, there's like, you know, your hand and shoulder's a little bloody, but you're like, just like that feeling of like, oh, this suit's gonna remember this later. But you're holding on.
Right.
And that's how I bring us back around. No, it was great. There's nothing to apologize for. Could apologize.
Talk about
Take a drink.
injuries.
Yeah, exactly.
Take a drink.
Take a drink. I gotta just mess with you, and we'll just, you know, have to drink constantly in the game. Oh, we do. So switching off of you back to Truthseeker, you know, you feel like you're holding on, but it hurts. So we're in the tunnels. You've got like you moved pretty fast that last round, but they're coming up on you. Make a roll to see if you move normally, you could get to that like alcove and hopefully hide from them as they pass by.
Okay, if I use my vigor point, I can do two actions in a turn. Essentially.
So that's gonna get. So if you use a vigor point, which you used your vigor point last time, then you use
I
a
used a
flex.
flex point.
Oh, nice. So you do still have one vigor point.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would allow you to both move quickly, assuming you roll well, and try to hide this round. Otherwise, you're gonna be kind of there and relying on the fact that like they might not move as fast. I don't know. We'll see.
Okay. I'll do that then.
I think that's a really good choice. All right, so roll me some athletics to see how this is gonna move through. So what's your athletics?
40.
Good luck.
I know, right?
You got this. I believe in you. Can
64.
Ooh.
I failed.
Okay. So with using your moxie
Vigor point.
vigor point. Thank you. Words. So using the vigor point, you can basically you're getting another sort of action. So you move like halfway there. You didn't quite get there. But with this vigor point, if you roll well enough, like above a 33, which your value is 40 though.
Yeah.
If you roll below a 40 and below a 33, you're gonna get like right to the alcove, and then it might be okay. They might not move fast enough to get around and see you, but it's gonna be tight. If you roll above a 33 into a 40, then you can get also into the location, right?
Okay.
So, but if less than that, you're basically gonna be like at the corner and having to get like a good roll next round to get in there. It's gonna be tight.
Okay.
So, 33 to 40 is your best numbers.
21.
So that's a succeed. So you got there. So you're at the location. It's moving pretty good, but you're hoping you can't quite hide there yet. You're hoping that they're gonna come around not come around the corner before you do.
Okay.
So let's see what I got. I'm gonna stare at you and give you the intense like.
You're good. Do you need to see?
There it is. Now I was looking for a very particular thing, which I hid for myself 2 feet to the right. Because I'm like that. Got a pretty good. Oh, so their athletics was 60, and they got an 85.
Whoa.
So you see, you're like at the hiding spot location, and you see one of the claws come around the corner at the last junction, but it's just there at the moment. It hasn't quite come around yet. So like one of them is about to round and see you. So we're gonna keep going with one more turn of you.
Okay.
So you're right there. I'm presuming you're going to try and hide.
Yeah, definitely. And would that be a survival check?
I'm going to call it survival check on this one, frankly. It's like, which is, unfortunately for you, though, another, no, survival is intelligence. You might have, some insight pool to use for this, perhaps?
I do have insight pool, but my survival is also 60, and I have good instincts, which gives me a plus 10 to intellect.
So what you're saying is you're feeling good not spending a point and relying on a 70, or you could spend a point and like up your check by 20 for this roll and get a 90. I'm just throwing it out there.
I'm going to use the 70. I've already used 2 points. I've already used 2. And I can't flip them around.
I'm also just using this to tell other people how they can use their insight points. So
that's fair. I'm cool with it. Thank you.
So 70 it is.
Me.
I swear to God, if you roll at 85, I'm going to giggle.
Okay, I'm just gonna use a point. Fuck it.
Peer
pressure. I rolled a 1, a literal 1.
Which is good. That's
yeah,
fine.
It's still good, but that's hilarious. Like,
I would have loved though if that was an 81 and you felt good about your decision.
I
That
would
have
have
been
felt
the
good about
best
my
possible
decision.
outcome.
But I still used a point.
You still feel it's still good. You still have more.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So this is less of a like where I've described this as like a 2x2 kind of or maybe like a 0.6 meter round number. Like on either side square, you're kind of scrambling through like the ball pit ball, like tubes, right? But square. This is very much like a passageway where it's going to curve off to ventilation, or the electrical is also being rewired somewhere, but it's not designed to be like necessarily a serviceable tunnel. Like it's going to like cap somewhere in a moment.
Okay.
And so what you do is you kind of like contort yourself a little bit. And this is the survival that comes in, is you realize that you could contort yourself in a way that kind of like fits into this alcove, so you're out of the normal passageway. And you sort of follow the natural lines of the electrical at the moment, right? So like in terms of a visual inspection, it looks like some of the other walls you've passed by in terms of where the piping is going. And so you kind of like camouflage yourself in a way that is out of direct line of sight and looks like the background to the best of your ability, at least.
Yeah, totally.
Hoping that these maintenance bots, as they roll through, don't notice that. You're like,
Don't
I'm
even
gonna
go-
pretend to be a pipe.
Yeah.
That's what you got, right? You're like,
Also, like, hopefully they don't decide to go to the dead end, because I don't know, but who knows how they're tracking me.
by send. No, I don't know. You're a meat suit now.
I know, like that's why I'm like, how do robots track humans?
Toot. I don't know. Your methane emissions, probably.
Carbon dioxide,
Heat sensor?
heat sensors.
Where did heat go? I saw heat go this way.
I mean, basically.
That's where you get next to all of the waste heat pipes.
So that's where you are.
Oh yeah.
There's electrical waste heat happening. You're seeing what their perceive is. There it is. Ooh, it's better if. That's funny. Okay. You're fine. Oh, you actually are fine. They rolled an 83. So actually there's 3 of them. Okay, cool. I roll is actually a 71. That was also hilarious. I was gonna give you like 2 out of 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. One rolls by you, the other rolls by. The third rolls by, stops, like really slows down a little bit, but you hear like a in the distance, and then that one takes off after them.
Mm-hmm.
And then it gets like more silent and more silent, and you're just hearing like this hum of electricity in your ear as you're like against this like conduit pipe, and you feel like this like heat in a way that you haven't, like your meat suit hasn't felt uncomfortable temperature, right? Like ever before, practically.
Yeah.
Right? Like, or like for a long time now, like you're so used to the virtual, like just everything being comfortable. Like the virtual is, and this is something that I think is also applying to all of you as like those in meat suits, is you ever like taken a bath that perfect body temperature where it is just like that sensory deprivation tank of just like you don't even notice. Yeah, that ambient temperature.
Absolutely.
That is the virtual, right? It is just like, it is that background buzz of just like, you don't think about your weight, you don't think about your temperature, you don't think about anything physically uncomfortable like that. But now you're in this zone again where you're like, this is uncomfortable water, right? This is like a new like annoyance you haven't had to think about before, but you've known it in the past, right? And it's like, oh god, uncomfortable, but you hold on and they pass by you.
Okay.
Back to Penelope and comes 3. So you're up first. What you got going on?
Plan worked.
My plan worked.
Yes, it did.
So it's attacking the other one. You're detached from it because it detached from you unless you stopped it.
While it's attacking the other one, can I couple with that one as well?
You're just gonna make an army of maintenance bots.
Oh.
No one's taught them about protection.
Oh, yeah, right.
Firewalls.
Actually, that funny. You should say that.
Anti-firewalls.
I do have an idea along those lines.
I hate you. Wait, okay, so I mean, try. It is definitely going to be more difficult for you because this thing is tussling. Actually, this is now Mecha Spider, the Mega Spider. It's a little harder for the mega spider to.
Well, now I really have to do
Just
it.
makes it more attractive.
I know. Oh, it's making me sad. All right.
Oh, and I just missed it.
Oh, so it's not even gonna roll. Yeah, you definitely miss it. Mecha Spy don't care.
Okay, but is that my whole round, or
So you
Do I get
moved, you attacked. Yes, I believe that is.
where's Penelope now? Where are you now?
Penelope is at the door.
At the door, trying
Actually,
to claw
you
my
didn't move.
way.
You just attacked it. You could move to Penelope if you wanted to do a movement action there.
I'm going to do that. Yeah, I just realized the futility of my actions, and now I'm skittering off to do better, for better time.
How very sentient of you.
Learning from your mistakes.
Yeah.
I'm learning from my mistakes now, Mom.
Big teacher.
Okay, because you see
It's
Penelope
fine.
like
Just
just
sitting on the table.
at the door, but like standing up, and you you see these like very bright signals coming through, leaving Penelope's face and impacting the ground, where there is a signal that you notice like very bright but at a lower intensity than what is dropping onto it. And there's also like a signal that is like splattered up against the door that is also a little bit brighter than the surrounding area. You're looking at it in infrared.
It's a
I don't know.
Like,
I love that you're confused because this is exactly how Comms 3 would look at it.
an information stream.
Yeah, for you, you're getting information where there's a particular
Oh,
ping that is brighter and
I'm
dimmer.
going right straight for the brightest one.
Cool. Penelope, you look over, and as you're like kind of standing up and like, oh god, like drip, 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 blood. You look down, and then suddenly Comms 3 is below you, like digging through your like puddle of blood. And like as you're dripping onto it, it's got like a little sample tray, and it's just really I'm intrigued at like what is happening there.
We look down and very groggily say, "What the fuck?"
You know?
It's so beautiful.
It's blood. I'm
All right, Hannibal
dripping
Lecter.
blood. Open the door.
I was thinking Jeffrey Combs in From Beyond. I don't know if anyone's seen that. He has like where his pineal gland has like sprouted out of his head and is a stalk, and when he looks at people, he sees their brain inside their skull. That's where I'm at.
All right, then.
I presume Comms 3 is telling you that, and you're like, oh.
Yeah,
Right.
do something useful and open the door, and like maybe carry me out of
What
here.
am I doing? What the hell's going on?
That is all you are doing. That is the end of your turn, is coming over being like, just like, oh, okay, I'm done with my robot army now, and I go over here, right? Like, so Penelope, what are you doing as this robot is dripping? So you're like, you ordered the robot to like, Comms 3 to open the door. Yo, fix this.
Does Comms 3 open the door?
Comms 3 looks like it's currently distracted with your blood.
Cool. I'm gonna spend all of my action and movement to just like
Teacher.
crawl through the door and get away.
Okay, so you're gonna take your time with this one. Roll an athletics check to like, to really just pity crawl through this door with like a banging headache. Like you're pretty sure you have concussion kind of level, but
Yeah.
almost not quite. Actually, it was surprising. Like it was nearly concussion, but it's fading because it wasn't a wound. That's why I'm trying to describe that.
48.
Yeah, that's success right this time.
Yeah.
This round kickoff. So okay, that's not only 48, but that is a success of being 48, or like a whatever that first level is. So you do it a little bit quicker than you normally would. So you kind of like unlike before was the colossal. Oh my god, I'm a fucking idiot.
Don't
like,
go diving off things you're not made for diving.
Yeah, 2020 fail video. Kid meet wall kind of thing.
Oh,
People know the reference. You might.
I have not seen the kidney wall yet.
It's great. You should check it out. It's back in the day. Old school reference. But you just like slither through very very gracefully by comparison. You're just like, okay, I was being cocky. I'm a stupid body. Okay, you roll through. So you get through. What do you want to do? You've got like a move action and another like little quick action. If
Stand up and start stumbling towards computer core.
Cool. So that's just going to be a hallway this way. So you basically move your movement down, and you're like, fuck this. I don't.
Yeah. Hanging onto the wall as I go.
Okay. There is some like track like strobe lighting that is like obviously like pop, 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 like leading you down the hall. And at this point, you don't see like any other particular exit. It just kind of goes.
Sweet. I would rather it wasn't moving lighting, but that's fine. Yeah.
Agreed. It is
Don't
not
puke.
good. Each flash is like a new like hammer, like tuck tuck.
Yeah.
Tuck, tuck, tuck.
No, that's why I'm like, I wish the lights weren't moving.
But
like,
it is fading.
Somehow
it is getting better.
Somehow produced a linen handkerchief. I'm just like holding.
I did
like,
this real fast. It's fine. That's good. I like that. So I'm gonna end that with y'all. Actually, no. I'll give you one more round on this one. I gave 2 to Truthseeker. So comms 3. Penelope is like wriggled through the door, and you can see like the signal kind of like getting smaller as Penelope is staggering down the
So the
hallway.
signal's coming from Penelope.
Yeah, there's many signals all around, but like this one particular wavelength, I realize is heat. Is
Then I
like,
skitter off towards it.
You definitely heard me say that's my blood. What the fuck are you doing? Stop. But you're still following my blood trail.
Oh, it's the signal! It's the signal! It's the signal!
can't stop the signal.
Can't stop the signal!
It's called DNA, you tin can.
Yeah. So
I mean, I'm way overexcited about this, yeah.
Penelope is really irritated with you.
Yeah, I'm sure.
well, it's working. It's following you. So, so make an athletics check to see if you can pry through the door.
What's my athletics?
Excellent question.
The robot?
It is 60.
60? Ooh, no. 69. I almost...
That's the third
Sex
time.
number.
Whoa!
That's a Menage 12 69s on the die. Oh, it's dislike. as our closet monkey is like, oh, what's that? Right?
It's
I don't know what you actually
success,
said.
Bill.
It's a no. Oh, it's terrible. I hope that's on camera and on mic. He does not like it. So you kind of like try and wriggle through in the way that you saw Penelope do, but realize that your chassis is just too large. So you spend, if you want to, this rest of your turn cranking the door open so you can get through.
Yeah.
Cool. That's what you're doing. By the end of this turn, door's open. You're following a little like trail of blood that is like dwindling. It's definitely like you see fading out, and the trail is colder where you are and gets like slightly brighter, warmer as you get closer to Penelope, and you see as a glowing like towards the end of the hallway.
All right, follow the glowing.
So I'm just like a pillar of fire. That's
I'm
dripping
following the
small
glow.
Fire.
Yeah.
Cool.
Full of fire, dripping small fire. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
You're a volcano of human DNA.
A fountain of blood in the shape of a girl, if you will.
Yes, you get double high fives for that.
Is that a quote or just damn good
New
visual?
York reference.
Also,
Nice.
damn good visual.
Yeah.
Did you see the Onion article or something else recently that was like
We love you, Bjork.
yeah no that was like Bjork banished when accidentally tricked by an audience member to say her name backwards. It was an Onion article of some other like farcical thing I saw recently. I'm like, so good. Also, Harp Bjork. At any rate,
So no banishing Bjork.
no,
No.
Hail Iceland. I just want to
Yeah.
say. But it's a good article, joke, title,
Yeah.
solid. So back to Kastor, as y'all are sort of following the
I don't get a
woman
second
shape.
round. I mean, I'm just doing the same thing. So
Okay, you get further down the hallway. Sorry, I kind of presumed that'd be great. I should have asked you. Continue down the hallway. Yeah, a lot.
yeah,
Cool.
a lot.
Do you deal at all with this little spider bot that is like crawling after you, or you just like?
I'm assuming it's fairly far behind me.
Are you attempting to sashay? An important question. It's a hallway.
Bloody sachet.
Yeah. Stumble.
It is
stumble
definitely like
sashay.
your headache
Sashay
fades.
away.
Yeah. Exactly.
Sashay away. Your
That's a
headache
runway.
fades. The drips kind of like you notice are like it's obviously like it's not a gushing head wound anymore. It was
Yeah.
just a glancing flow. You got a little pressure on it. It's taken care of. It's like definitely like wet when you touch it, but it's no longer like actively streaming.
Yeah,
Right. But you make it down the hallway. If there's anything else you want to do, cool. Otherwise, you're
yeah.
just doing
No,
that.
we're like just straight down the hallway. We want to solve this problem.
Cool. So I'm going to Oh, excuse me. I don't know if you heard that on the mic. Those weird throat rivets. So back to Kastor.
Mm.
So at this point, you hear a deep screech and groan from the elevator above you.
Can only imagine.
It's not. It's like another chunk falls. This one definitely misses though. But like you get a sense that like you hear like a listing of like heavy machinery above you, like slamming into the wall. Like it is changing its position and it's not being held up by much at the moment.
Cool.
So I'm kind of playing this narratively a little bit, but like,
Sure.
Is there any other way that you're trying to help Charlie? It looks like the door is really close to being open.
I'm really curious at this point, since I haven't had any interaction with them. I don't have them written out, but like the pools, like how do we calculate those?
Cool.
Are there?
Excellent question. If anybody knows, I think they.
Sorry.
I think they're. Yeah, I don't know if you have an.
I was gonna say, I think the thing you made us gave us a base of them, and then you could use customization points to change them.
I'm pretty
Thing you
sure.
made us?
So
No, he made us. Sorry. Well, you can go first if you have better words.
what I figured out was for like insight, you add your your cognition and intuition and divide that by 10, which is how I got 4.
Okay.
So
Got it. So
Oh, so do you add the things that are at the bottom and then divide them?
Sure.
Yeah.
Until we know otherwise, that sounds great to me. So do that.
Say it again,
if we
divide
need to
by
adjust
what?
4?
no, by 10.
By 10, sorry.
So my cognition and my intuition are both 20, so those together are 40, and then
what if you're halfway in between?
Yeah.
Then
I
round
got
down.
I
I'm
got
going
a
to say round down.
45.
Okay.
Then round down. I'll give you that for now, at least. So
So 4.
take a 4. It might be less than that. It might be different. We're also not using a ton of points right now, so I will clarify and double check with you later.
But I thought 40 insight pool was a lot of points, and I was like, there's no way.
That's a lot of points.
Yeah.
No, you should have like definitely single digits on the lower side of like 10, right? So
Yeah.
like 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'll go with that. That sounds like a good combination for now.
Perfect.
And if you want to use 1, you'll have at least 1 anyway. So I'm okay with that.
Cool. Because kind of what I'm thinking,
Flex points are definitely customizable, though.
sure. I also wanted to ask that question out just because it hadn't come up yet.
I just want to be on the same page, people.
Cool.
That's all I care.
So I'm kind of, and can you use them in conjunction or is it one per?
I'm going to say 1 per until I know better.
Cool. And can you only use one at a time? Like, can you blow your flex watt? Like your.
That's what I thought you just asked. So that's what
Oh,
I meant.
I'm sorry.
It was
Yeah.
like 1 at a time.
Got
Period.
it. Cool. What I was thinking is like, can I use moxie and vigor, but one at a time,
I'm
no
gonna say
matter
1
what it
point
is.
Period. Yeah,
Got
no
it.
matter what you use.
So I'm kind of thinking moxie at this point because I might be losing it a little. Kastor might be like really feeling like, while they don't super care about this meat sack necessarily, they can't guarantee the safety of their stack in this current situation. So
I'd say Kastor cares a lot about data, and even though a backup wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, it's like you've gathered a lot of data sets then, and you wouldn't want to lose it.
right. I also, at this juncture, I don't know that I've done that.
Fair enough. Like a
Yeah.
violent death kind of.
Specifically, like we know that we can, and we know that we've done it with other people, but I don't know that Kastor, to their knowledge, has a memory of having done a data backup. But we'll chat that out later. That's
So-
curious. I like that.
Yeah, so we're using this. Okay, so we're using a point to kind of do some cool stuff potentially. So what are you trying to do with it, right? Like,
No, yeah.
Okay, you're at-
Sorry.
okay,
Yeah, I was getting there.
Okay, cool.
I just
I'm trying to bring
that
us on
came
track.
up.
That was good. I like that.
Anyways, is because basically what I'm thinking of is it's hard for me to fully know exactly how it would be done physically, but to basically try to step closer to Charlie or in some way facilitate the cranking of the thing open, and then like getting him through it and me through it as fast as possible. I'm not saying that all happens in one round. I'm just trying to do this as efficiently and like.
I'm saying you might need to do that in one round. So we'll
Sure.
discuss. All right. So I'm going to say, how about this? So you could use that to really like you kind of slipped, but that is you're rallying yourself with your moxie, right? You're kind of like, no, I'm better than this. Like I can, like I know the proper way to set this up and like boost Charlie, like convincing him like, look, this is just a temporary meat suit. If things go wrong, here's this. Like just fucking get it done. Give it your all. Tear some muscles. Do what you need to do. Get out, right? So like supporting them heavily, right? So this is gonna boost like what's cool with you. Charlie's like athletics in this case to kind of like crank this door open, even though they've been kind of like doing this at a little bit of a disadvantage, using some terminology, like getting at that because this door is ready to go. And if they do that, you are going to be able to like absolutely like rush through that door with them as well.
Cool.
Let's see how this goes. Oof, yeah, that works. It's not particularly graceful or beautiful by any means, so no critical successes or anything like that. But like Charlie kind of rallies, and you see him like just like throw his left side into it and just crank that door open. Like reaches down with that same good hand and remembers to kind of favor the one they've got like hooked to the ladder and like grabs you and like pulls you up to kind of assist you in. Like you just got rallied by your words. And then like they dive through. You were like on the floor of the deck, right? Kind of just like breathing for a moment. As the like adrenaline is just like coursing through you and your muscles are like tense in a really uncomfortable way. As you hear like clang, screech, and elevator drops behind you. And there's just like silence as you're kind of like both breathing heavily. And you hear some like skittering coming from the elevator.
We don't hear it land?
It's still screeching as it skids.
Got it.
But you hear skittering also like sort of like fading off. And boom, clang, kind of echo up from below. And then like kind of like pause and like heavy breathing. And Charlie just kind of like sits up and goes, we've got to get to the bridge. And that's where we're going to end for tonight.
Cool.
Thanks for showing up to the Trappist transfer. I'm going to, like move this other thing that has the stuff I'm supposed to say. Let me go by. Thanks for joining us. An Eclipse Phase homebrew campaign produced by Critical Misfits Entertainment. You can find us on YouTube as well as wherever else you get your audio podcast. iTunes, Spotify, Podbean, lots of others. And be sure to subscribe and rate us wherever you listen to us. If you like what you've heard, be sure to check out our other show, the Terra Sentia series, next Thursday on Twitch, possibly afterwards if we change some schedule up. But as well as on Twitch, YouTube, iTunes. Thank you to our viewers. Thank you to our patrons on Patreon. Goodbye and welcome to 2020, the future. Farewell.